So I'm really excited about this new product to show you guys. Now, fume boards are nothing new, but we developed one that is incredibly different and really special. And I'm going to show you guys how well it works. But most fume boards just are a rim that fit on top of your hive, and then they have some sort of a material to spray a repellent on. There's plenty of different brands. Keep in mind that when it comes to bee repellents, the better it smells, the worse it works. The worse it smells, the better it works. So, you've got to decide what, do you want speed or do you want something to not smell awful? So the worse it smells, the better it works. But so most fume boards have some sort of a material on the underside to spray that bee repellent on. And then all of them, except for ours, have a solid top that's painted black, it's metal or it's plastic. And what happens with these fume boards is they absorb heat from the sun, and that heat then warms up that repellent on the underside of this underside of this cloth, and that fumigates that repellent just a little bit, and that smell drives the bees out of your boxes. Now, one method of removing bees from a honey super is with a bee brush. And if you're going to do this, you just pick up each individual frame out of your honey super, brush all the bees off of it, one frame at a time, brush all the bees out of the box, and it's labor intensive. If you only have a couple of hives, a bee brush works just fine. If you've got 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 hives or a whole bunch of boxes, a fume board is way, way faster and does a much more thorough job than you're going to do with a bee brush. The risk with a bee brush, if you've got a lot of hives, is all the time you're spending brushing all those bees off the frames, you may have robber bees smelling that honey, and they're going to quickly come and try to start robbing honey. And you do not want to start a robbing scenario in your bee yard. So bee brushes work if you only have 1 or 2 hives and you can do it pretty quickly. If you've got more than that, a fume board is definitely the way to go. So what's really special about our fume board is because it has this clear plexiglass lid instead of a solid colored lid like a piece of metal, it allows the sunlight to directly hit that cloth on the underside, which means it heats it up way, way, way faster and drives the bees out of the boxes much, much faster. So to show you guys, I've got some bee repellent here, and I'll get it started here. And this is a bee repellent that doesn't smell bad at all. If I can get it to, turning the nozzle on helps. So this is one of the best smelling repellents. So I'm not using the strongest one, just to show you guys. And then I'm going to put 5 or 6 sprays on the underside of this cloth. I'm going to take the lid off of my hive that's completely full of bees. I'm going to give them a few puffs of smoke just to get them started running down. And then I'm going to put this fume board on top. Now, when I put fume boards on top, I like to leave them slightly off-centered, just like that. And what that does is it lets the bees escape from up top if they want to. Now, most of the bees are going to run down to the bottom of the box, to the bottom box, but some will get a little disoriented. It helps to leave some cracks up here to let them escape from if they want to. Now, most fume boards you have to leave on the hive for 4 or 5 minutes. We're going to leave this on for roughly a minute, and I'm going to show you guys how fast it works. The one thing to watch out for as you're working the fume boards is you don't want to leave it on for too long. If you leave it on for 10 minutes and it's a really hot day, you don't want to run all the bees right out of your hive. So what I usually do is I keep an eye on the entrance of the hive and make sure that bees aren't just boiling out of the entrance. You just want them out of the honey supers, not out of your brood boxes. So I leave it slightly off-centered. I leave it on with our fume boards. Usually if it's a bright sunny day, it only takes 1 to 2 minutes. Other styles of fume board can take several minutes, especially if it's a cooler day. If it's only 70 degrees or 75 degrees, it can take a long time or never for other styles of fume boards. That's why I love these. This is why I love it as a commercial beekeeper even, is I can go out to my hives at 75 degrees or 70 degrees, and these fume boards will start working when no other fume board does. And like I said, they tend to work much, much faster. So I don't have a timer on me, but I think that's about a minute, maybe a minute and a half. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off, and let's take a look and see what it did. So I don't think there's a single bee in this box. So it has removed every single bee out of this box in that minute or minute and a half. And our second box, that's also full of honey, it's removed about 95% of the bees out of our second box. So it only would have needed, usually you put it on until that top box is empty, and then we would put it onto the second box, wait another minute, and it'll drive those out. So it works incredibly fast, and I didn't stage this hive or do anything to prep it to have its honey pulled, but it works extremely, extremely fast. So fume boards are the way to go if you've got more than one hive. One hive, you can brush one at a time. Otherwise, fume board's the way to go.